So yeah, I'd love to talk through some of your journey with you, and starting out obviously as an associate with Dr. Dick Holt Sr. His, Marshall Dick Holt Sr. If you're a student or you're new in chiropractic, he is an absolute legend when it comes to upper cervical chiropractic and NUCCA specifically, but really just all of chiropractic. His work with the blood pressure study, which is one of the most important pieces of research in the history of chiropractic. He made a profound impact. His legacy continues on. And so, but when you're in his practice and you're learning those first few years, you did an associate position with him for several years, right? So
5. Yeah, I was with him for 5. I worked as his associate for 3 and then just kept my own practice rocking in his walls for another 2.
As an independent contractor for a few years, is that right?
Yeah, I guess it would be considered that. I paid him rent, which was
gotcha. Yeah. So talk about that experience, those years working with him before you moved to Ames.
Yeah, they were something else. I felt like God gave me a lot of skills being the youngest of 8 children to kind of put up with a lot of stuff. And so so my skin was pretty thick. And I say that lovingly because his goal was always for excellence in practice. And that's my goal too. We try to make that part of our culture within my practice. That certification just is one of those things we strive for. And it was almost annoying to me, but he would tell every patient, it seemed, that there was only 17 at the time, only 17 board certified doctors, and 3 of them were him and his 2 children. And so I'm at this little peon associate trying to be like, yeah, okay, but trust me too, Yeah. And but he was very generous with his time with me, very generous. And it wasn't warm and cuddly. It wasn't like, hey, let's be friends. It was like, you got to learn this for the good of your patients. And there's no gray area here. And so for the first year, and it wasn't so much him asking me to do this, but it was, it might've been a little implied, but it was also like, I wanted this feedback. I showed him every single pre-post that I took the first year or 2. It was like always, that was part of my routine. I would take care of a patient and I'd set up a time with him to go through pre and post. And I learned a ton. You learn a lot of biomechanics. It was a beautiful opportunity to learn this work. Did I end up in tears sometimes? Absolutely. But but I feel like it was just, I'm so blessed to be able to have that experience. And I have just so much gratitude to him and his family for kind of welcoming me into their family. Yeah. It was great. And then, and then in that time though, then I started to branch off into my own practice, and then he brought in other associates. Now, his practice was really exclusively medical doctor referrals. He had a steady stream of patients from a medical doctor in Barrington. It's the one that helped him with that blood pressure study, Dr. Bell. Right. And then, so any spillover referrals were given to me, which was a big gift. But also, I didn't learn how to market very well. And so all of a sudden, here comes J.R. Barone into the practice as the associate that would take over my spot. And he was amazing. And so what he was learning and what he was doing and getting out there and doing screenings and all this stuff, it was all new to me and it was scary to me, but it was at the same time, it was this really great challenge. And so I'm always grateful to him to kind of opening the door to that for me. So that led to, different coaches and things like that. As you know, I'm sure you do, coaching, finding a good coach within an upper cervical practice is a challenge. So I'm really grateful to what you were doing, Bill, to make it unique, that it needs to be unique. We are unique practices. That's and, right. it doesn't fit into a model of everything. So I had a stream of coaches that were good for some things, not so good for others. And it was sometimes frustrating, sometimes not. But anyway,